Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go in the jacuzzi, smoking threats. I got my feet up. Cut them haters off, I told them beat it. I don't need you. Spent 50 racks in cash, but it's all good. I got my visa. This rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa. My ghetto, Nike. I beat it like a creature. She always like my sneakers. These Jordan 5 pink aces. Let's go. I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row. He beat it at one, but they already know. So none of my chains go put on the show.
Giving up gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need to back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80s. We really 10-toe down on the pavement. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last season. You sliding around playing Eminem in your car, you and your old lady?
You what we call a tender dick nigga.
That's all I was gonna throw. That threw off my whole vibe for the intro, man. I can't even talk after that, dog.
You what we call a tender dick nigga.
Oh man. Oh, if we ever get Jay Prince back on the show, he needs to clarify that statement, man. I need to know what he meant. There's a lot of stuff in Houston going on that I just don't understand, man. That clip I showed you of that dude who went to Houston and went to Third Ward in the neighborhoods. There were these two dudes talking about how they call each other bitch as like a term of endearment. Like, what up, bitch? Like they were explaining it to the white guy because the white guy was like, if somebody called me a bitch, you know, I'm offended. But these black dudes in the hood were trying to explain how if you friends with another man, you can call him a bitch. Like, hey, bitch, what up? They were it was blowing my mind because where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, it's funny because I knew some dudes who would they wasn't doing it like that, but they'd be like, "What's up, bitch ass nigga? I see you, bitch ass." They kind of joke around like, "Bitch, get your ass out of." They kind of talk like that, but it's not like a, "Hey, this is why I call you bitch because we're endearing each other." it was more just talking shit. Like it's kind of like when New Yorkers say "suck my dick." That's how they was kind of using it. Like, "What's up, bitch ass nigga? Look at this bitch ass nigga."
Ranking and clowning is different, man. Like ranking and clowning is one thing, but they were talking about it like that was just some normal shit for Houston niggas to do.
Yes,
I'm like, nah, man.
See, I never heard that way.
I don't get it, man. Drunk up in YouTube. What's up, Drunk? He said that's that Lizzo type friendship. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Lizzo in a minute, man. Lizzo getting packed up on social media and everywhere. So we gotta talk about that. Houston's own Lizzo is going through it right now. We gotta explain the accusations. But yeah, I don't understand like this new generation, and I never heard that shit before, dog. Like I never heard like bitch being used like lovingly between two dudes. You know? Like I said, like what you're talking about is more like ranking and busting balls and shit. I know that, but the way they explained it was some shit I never heard of, man. So
when you gotta explain why you call somebody else a bitch in a endearing way, I don't know. I never heard of that one.
Things just ain't the same for gangsters. That times is changing. Young niggas is aging. Like Dr. Dre said, man. I understand these new. I understand the ways of the world, man. And sometimes I feel like there's nothing to live for. So I'm living for the days of yesterday. Another classic song by TLC featuring Andre 3000. Great song. Dog, that song is so timeless, man. The thing that trips me out, though, is I know we on a sidebar here, because that song is about like missing the old days. But that song came out in like 1994, man. The PlayStation wasn't even out at that point.
94, man. I don't
Like,
even
were
remember
people
what
in the
was going on in
90s.
94.
That's what I'm saying. That's why that's why when I think of how I feel now about how everything kind of sucks and I miss the old days, I feel like that's just a natural part of getting older. Because if people in the that's the arguably the golden age of hip hop, the golden age of some pop music, and everything like was gonna get better from then on. And they made that song in 94 talking about how they missed the old days.
Yeah. That's crazy. Was Outkast, did they even drop an album in 94? When was their first album?
Wait, when did Crazy Sexy I might get the Crazy Sexy Cool. Okay, yeah, it was 94. And Outkast, when did Outkast's first album drop?
I thought it dropped in like 95, 96 or something like that.
Let me see. The discog they dropped I think their first album came out in 94. Yeah, April 1994. Southern Player kind of like music. Yeah, nobody at that time knew who Andre 3000 was.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. He had that joint on an album that sold 10 million records.
Yeah.
And nobody knew who Outkast was really outside like the South.
Yeah. But they was on the same record label though. I think they was on LaFace. They both of those groups was on LaFace, which is wild. Babyface, LA Reid, they found two groups.
Yeah, man, that was that record label had a lot of talent too.
Yeah,
man,
and the crazy part about it, that was like an R&B label, and they had Outkast.
Let me see who was all on LaFace. They had Tony Braxton, of course, Sierra, Goody Mob, Jermaine Jackson too. Okay, Outkast, Pink, Tony Rich, TLC, T.I., Usher, the Young Bloods.
Oh, that was more in the 2000s.
So, yeah, that was going a little later on. Donnell Jones as well. I don't know why I thought Donnell Jones was a bad boy. Maybe he started off with them. Maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. Anyway, well, I know we went on a long tangent here. What up, Mark Nash? We see you on YouTube. What's going on, bro? Good to see you here as well.
Man, Mark Nash had a picture with Stephen A. That was a yeah. I seen him post a picture with Stephen A. That was a dope picture.
Stephen A does seem mad accessible, man. I feel like he's the type of dude who wouldn't like blow you off if you ask for a flick or want to chop it up for him a bit. So yeah, you always seem like a cool dude in that regard, man. So but yeah, that's dope. That's dope. A lot to break down this week and talk about. Oh, Mark Nash said he had floor seats at the fight. Whose dick were you? I'm just playing. How did you get floor seats to the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight, man? What can you sponsor the podcast if you got that kind of guap? We open for sponsorships, man. Let's do a collab. Well, I know you have the clout like that, man. Let's do a collab. Let's do something. Now that's fire, man. That's dope. Oh yeah, press credentials. That's dope, man. That's fire.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time, man. He says he made the ring walk music for Nonito Donaire. Okay, that's dope, man. That's a good look. That's a good look.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm happy that happened for you, bro. I mean, we was right here with the end. I'm just playing. I hate when people when you talk about something or like you went somewhere, the first thing niggas do is like say like, oh, why you invite me? Or why, like they try to insert themselves in there. Oh, why you couldn't get me some tickets? Why? I hate that, man. Why not just say you happy for me and you glad that I did that? Why you got to go insert yourself and be like, where was my invite? How come I know that they say it jokingly, but it's not all the way jokingly. They kind of mean that.
Yeah. And then the thing is, it's like, Oh, gee, at this time, I should have been thinking about your random ass. And let me just call you up. Because it don't need to be a thing like it's like my sister or the wife or somebody that's in my immediate family, like somebody that's close. It'd be a random ass cousin that you don't talk to but twice a year. Dang, you should have hit me up. Like, oh gee, I was thinking about you. I should have just out of nowhere hit you up.
Dude, I ain't talked to in like 3 months. I should have been like, yeah, you know what? I'm sure he would like this. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
man. But Mark Nash says he had an extra ticket that went to waste. Okay, now I'm mad. Okay, you didn't have to mention that part. Now I'm like, you could have hit one of us up. Figgy, you should have went, man. That would have been a good look for you.
Why you ain't hit me up? It sounded like Mark Nash was there doing some business. He was on. He got the credentials and all that stuff. So I ain't mad at it. I'll be going through the same thing with working in Houston Texans games where I had the credential, and sometimes last minute, somebody say, "Hey, you want a ticket? Anybody need an extra ticket?" And I turn it down because I don't be knowing anybody that would that personally that would take a ticket right then and there, and I'd rather have somebody else take it who really want to go. But yeah, man.
That's dope. That's a good look for you, man. And that's the thing too. I think people will be surprised if they realize, like, you could ask for credentials and just get them. Like I didn't take advantage of that enough. I guess I still can, but I know at our Sports Radio 610, I knew some producers who like asked for press credentials to UFC fights, like big UFC fights, and they got them. Like they got the whole access. They was there interviewing the fighters. They was there in the good seats during the fight. And I was like, damn, I should have done that. But you'd be surprised, even if you just have like a YouTube channel, or you ain't got to be working at the New York Times. You just apply for a press credential and you might get one, man. So
yeah,
it never hurts to try. All you do is fill out a form and talk to some people.
Yep. Some people, I think this was before the previous Astro World, but some people got some press credentials for the for Astro World.
Yeah.
And that's how they went.
And we tried too, and we didn't get them. But I'm sure Jasmine found a way. She always finds a way somehow, some way.
That's the funny thing. Jasmine, she will get the credentials and buy tickets.
Yeah.
She will get either way she can, she get everything.
Jasmine will get the credentials, she'll get the tickets, and then she'll jump over the gate to get in the VIP. I'm sure she was backstage too somehow. She done crept her way. She's small, so she probably just Metal Gear Solid her way into the backstage and just was chilling out there with Travis Scott. Man, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
But shout out to her as well. A lot to break down this week, man. Let's cover some sports real quick. The Astros making some moves. They picked up Justin Verlander. They got him back. From the Mets. I've seen some varying takes on Astros Twitter. I'm not as plugged in, but I have seen the fights. I've seen some people upset with what the Astros did. They had to give up prospects in order to get him, and they're upset about that. They're asking, why didn't we just re-sign him when we had a chance? Other people are bringing up the fact that we desperately need pitching right now. We're in a fight for the playoffs right now. And we got some injuries and the pitching is weak. So we definitely need some help in the form of a Justin Verlander. Do you have any thoughts about this, man? Are you excited about this pickup, this re-pickup of Justin Verlander?
Yeah, I am. I think the Astros really struggled with their starting pitching, man. Framber was struggling up until he threw a no-hitter. But he was struggling at some point. Christian Javier was he been struggling for weeks. I don't know if he's gonna turn it back on. So the Astros got like a pitcher named JP France, who was probably their second best pitcher. And that's not a good sign. Even though he's playing good, but that's not a good sign. They need like a veteran, like a Justin Verlander, to step in there. And if they get in the playoffs, man, I think it's fair game. I think anybody can get got. So I think the problem is they kind of behind. And if they win the division, then shoot, I think a lot of teams gonna be scared of them. So I think it was the right move to get Justin Verlander. And then people talk, well, we gave up two prospects. One of them I think was drafted this year or last year. And the other one, I haven't even heard of the other one, but like, come on, man, we can't be crying about no prospects. That's one thing I never understood about baseball. Man, people be crying over these prospects, and it's really a roll of the dice. Some of these prospects never pan out. Some of them will pan out. Some of them do pan out, but most of the time, man, they never pan out. So what's the point of holding on to them if they ain't even playing right now at this moment? So
Yeah, and the funny, I've also heard people complain before this that the Astros have no good prospects, and
yeah,
now suddenly we got great prospects we had to give up to get Justin Verlander back. Personally, like I'm not a baseball guy really, but I feel like the Astros are kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs right now. You know, the people like the Chiefs, like the teams that are in contention for championships, they can't be worried about like prospects, and they got to win right now, man. They have to
yeah,
maximize their talent while they have them. They have to maximize this lineup while they're still relatively healthy. And you can't be, they're not in rebuild mode no more, man. You
yeah,
know, do what you got to do to win right now because the window is never that long and they got to do whatever they have to do, man. So I'm like, do whatever you got to do to win now because I'm not worried about 3-4 years in the future, honestly. Let's do what
yeah,
we got to do.
yeah. And to be honest, man, I mean, this might be crazy to say, but I think they still have a chance to win the World Series, man. I
Yeah.
don't think that door is closed. I think if they get in the playoffs, man, anything can happen, man. They could catch fire. A lot of these things that's in the playoffs currently haven't really been in the playoffs like that, man. The Rangers, they good right now, but you never know. They might fold in the playoffs. You got the Baltimore Orioles. When was the last time they was in the playoffs? They can fold. It's a bunch of that's what I'm saying. It's all fair game once they get in the playoffs, man. So I think either they had to go for it by trading for Justin Verlander, or they just got to. I want to say break the whole team down, but if they that worried about prospects and all this stuff, they might as well, get rid of the older players and try to rebuild then. If that's the case. So I think it was the right move, man. I don't think they gave up too much.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you brung it up earlier. People were saying how why they ain't signed him in the first place. You see how much money he got,
A lot.
and what the Astros gave up for him and paying him currently is not nowhere near what they would have been paying him if they paid him what the Mets paid him. So yeah, yeah. Of course, it wouldn't have made sense if they paid him at the end of the last season. So they getting them on a cheaper deal because the Mets are paying more of the money. So yeah, I ain't understand why people was bringing that up. That ain't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. People just get emotional about anything like that. But yeah, it makes sense, and it's crazy how the Mets just folded on this season too. They
Yeah.
traded Max Scherzer to the Rangers as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. They just said fuck it, we ain't winning
Yeah.
shit this year.
And I think they said they focused on 2025 or something.
Damn.
So I mean, I kind of respect it instead of just keep trying to throw all these money at people. They said, "Fuck it, let's this ain't working. Let's get rid of these people."
Yep, time to trust the process, man. The Astros went through it. Sounds like they got to go through it too. But
Yeah,
good pickup. We'll see how the Astros do. It's getting around that time of postseason almost, man. So looking forward to it. Also, you and the team have been out there. Y'all been covering training camp, man. I've heard a lot of spicy takes already from Texans Twitter. We talked about this before, man. I feel like the fan base is a lot more aggressive since the Deshaun Watson shit.
yeah,
Now they're always fighting over something, even during training camp. Somehow, some way, the Davis Mills truthers are still out there.
yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen people already worried about CJ Stroud out there, and I've seen people think that Davis Mills is gonna have his comeback season. He don't know comeback. He never was there in the first place. But people think that Davis Mills could still be the answer. Explain this. Explain how, number one, explain what you've seen or what you've heard from training camp and these wild Texans takes about the quarterback situation right now, man.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's so wild, man, because I want to say today and yesterday, um, they actually had a good camp. CJ Stroud was looking really good today. He was looking good yesterday. Now, before that, the 2 practices before these 2, it was a little rough. It was probably the roughest practices he had. But he's a rookie, man. I feel like he's still trying to learn the system and all that stuff. And look, it's no telling, man. It's training camp. They trying new stuff, so you really can't tell until you get on the field. But as far as the Davis Mills truthers, I feel like the Davis Mills truthers are the ones that didn't want to get a quarterback, want to draft a quarterback in the draft. So now, they draft the quarterback. They're still fans, but they kind of got to root for CJ Stroud. But soon as something happened, they saying, "See, Davis Mills, see if he have a better offense, he could be good." And they still holding on hope. And I think I just don't get it, man, because he wasn't picked in the first round where you had to stick around him. He was a 3rd round pick. They didn't expect him to play. And yeah, man, just move on, man. Like he's still on the team right now, but they drafted CJ Stroud number 2 overall for a reason. If Davis Mills was that good and they seen something in him, they wouldn't have drafted the quarterback. They would have rolled the dice with Davis Mills again. So I just don't get why we holding on to that, man.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. The Davis Mills shit, like to me, Davis Mills is one of the last people who has like the stench of like a Jack Easterby on him, man. We all remember how excited he was when they drafted him, and I feel like that was like his guy. So I kind of feel like we really, to move on from that era, we got to move on from Davis Mills. Okay, that was a time, and he had his shot. Yeah,
they
man.
gave him a chance.
They gave him more than a chance.
They gave him a chance. Look, because we seen a little bit in this rookie year. They didn't draft any quarterback. Shit, I don't even think they signed the quarterback. They gave him the keys to the franchise the next year, man. A 3rd round pick. They gave him the keys. And look, man, we seen what happened. So now we here. We drafted the quarterback number 2 overall. So I just don't understand why we still holding on to this, man. He could be a good backup, but you drafted a quarterback number 2 overall for a reason.
Yes, exactly. We got to move on from that era, man. We got CJ. He's not going to look perfect out there. He's going to mess up. He's going to have bad games. He's going to have terrible throws. We know what rookie quarterbacks go through, man. But we got to trust in him and see what he's got. We see y'all in the comments. What's up? Appreciate y'all hanging with us tonight, man. Anthony Bauer says, "I'm just here for Rockett's hot takes on Lizzo." We're going to get to Lizzo, man. You might be disappointed. I'm not like, I don't feel as strongly as you might think I feel about it, but we'll talk about it. We're going to break that down as well pretty soon.
Funny because you used to kind of feel a little strong about Lizzo from the beginning, though.
Like, she always annoyed me, man, but it's not like, we'll get to it. I'm gonna save it for the Lizzo section. DDBZ McNeil, is that a short for Dragon Ball Z? I like Dragon Ball Z as well. He says, "What up, Fig and Ryan on Facebook? What's going on, man?" Jenny P. Mad Wine Chemist on YouTube says it doesn't take long to see if the QB has it or not. Yeah, Davis Mills had like 2-3 seasons fully, pretty much, and didn't show us really anything. 3 seasons and didn't show us he was worthy of the starting position, man. Like, he had a shot, he had a chance. Yeah. DeBaron McNeil on YouTube says, "What up, Ryan and Figgy? What's going on, man? Good to see you as well. Good to have the whole crew here hang with us, man. We got a loaded show tonight of things to talk about and BS on. So any other football takes? I know the Hall of Fame game was this week as well. The Browns defeated the Jets. Of course, Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson did not play. You guys had a rookie quarterback. What was his name? Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah, DTR. They call him
Yeah.
DTR.
Did you see any of that game? Did you care about it?
I was actually flipping back from that in the Astros game. So I don't give a crap about this game, man. Nobody, I don't even think the backups played, man.
Yeah.
No, Josh Dobbs is the backup quarterback, and he didn't play. So, I mean, it was good just to see some somewhat competitive football instead of like some XFL and all that shit. It was good seeing that, but outside of that, man, I ain't really care, man.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long the preseason is gonna last, man, because they keep removing games and adding regular season games, and I feel like it's gonna get to 18 pretty soon. So we'll have like 2 preseason games max at that point. We should just move past it, man. I know there are a lot of I guess there's ad dollars in it. Some people who are just desperate for pro football are gonna want to watch it in some form or fashion, but me personally, like, I don't care about preseason, man. The worst time of year working these Texans games at the preseason games, they get so bad towards the end, man. Like the fourth quarter just goes forever, and you just want the game to be over, dog.
Yeah, I feel bad for people like Sean Pendergast who gotta do like pregame and postgame. In the post-game show, you breaking down all of this stuff that don't even matter.
You gotta talk for 3 hours about backups of backups playing.
You gotta talk 3 hours, taking calls and all this stuff about Jalen Camp. Who one is gonna make the team or not. And it sucked, man. But at least I feel like this preseason, at least they can talk about how good CJ Stroud looked or Will Anderson. You can kind of see a little something, but after game 2 and 3, man, you just over it.
Yeah, I'm over it as well, man. I just don't. I'm not a preseason football guy.
Next week too, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I hate dog. Oh, it's gonna be on Thursday too. I gotta drive in traffic. I ain't got no AC in my fucking car. It's gonna be terrible. I don't want to think about it. Matt Wine Chemist asks, what are your thoughts on the future of the Big 12? I like the teams they have added for both football and basketball. I'm glad Houston's in it. But I've seen like the Pac-12 is dismantling as well. And now it's like the SEC and the Big 10 is really going to be all there is, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on this, on the conferences in college sports, man?
I think it's gonna get to a point where it's just 2 big conferences, man. I think maybe. I mean, I don't know how many it is now, but I think it's probably gonna be maybe a good 2, either 2 or 4. I think they just all gonna gang up. I think everybody going to the Big 10, people trying to go to the SEC. Yeah, man, I think that's where it's gonna go. I think honestly, man, I think it's kind of silly to have so many conferences like that anyway, because it's so confusing. But I think I guess it's a good look because the Big 10 is a big deal. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Pac-12 is pretty much done. Colorado had left already. Now Arizona State, and Utah are joining the Big 12. So, yeah, I guess the Big 12 is like I don't know, the little brother of the Big 10 and the SEC at this point.
Yeah.
But
no, what's funny, A&M and Texas left or supposed to leave. And now it's just other teams just going to the Big 12. I don't know. It's a shit show.
College sports is just going through a major change right now with the NIL stuff and everybody jumping in the transfer portal after like
TV
one
money.
season.
Yeah, all this TV money and
yeah.
It's
sports in general, but especially college sports is going through a weird transition now. It's like I think we'll get used to it. I think things will level out, but now it's just weird, man. Now it used to be like it had to make geographical sense for a team to be in a conference.
Yeah.
Now it's just like a free for all, man.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Yeah,
rhyme or
yeah.
reason to any of it.
You got USC in the Big Ten. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of traveling.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. But it's just the sports are just going through a huge change right now. We just got to see how things work out. Oh yeah, DBZ McNeil says, nah, DBZ is short for Dirty Boys, the motorcycle club I'm in. That's dope. But I do love DBZ though, especially back in the days when it came out Toonami. Yeah, she was classic, man. Troy on Facebook asked, y'all touch on the USFL giving championship team 40s of Miller High Life to celebrate like they popping champagne. I didn't see that, but that's hilarious. How you gonna celebrate with I mean, to be fair, a High Life is a pretty good beer, but to pop it like it's like it's some Syrahs or like it's some Courvoisier or some fancy champagne after a championship is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't see that. They were chugging on High Life on 40 ounce. That's kind of wild, man. I didn't see that.
Who won? I didn't even know it was a damn game.
Yeah, I didn't even see who was in the UFC. Let me see. USFL championship game was between the Stallions and the Maulers. Okay, the Birmingham Stallions and the Pittsburgh Maulers. The Birmingham Stallions won, so good for them.
Okay.
Did the XFL finish? Did that even go this? I haven't been keeping track.
I think that finished. I don't know who won.
Yeah, I didn't keep track either, man. But good for them. Good for the winners. You asked if we're going to talk about Kai Cenat. I did see that. We're going to talk about Kai Cenat and the streamers and all this stuff from our old man on the porch perspective with all these crazy kids and they wild entertainment and all that. It's not that like it was back in our day. We're going to talk about that stuff as well. So with that said, let's just get into the topics, man. I don't think anything released music wise, and we're honestly, look, we're transitioning the podcast, okay?
Yeah, it's tough for music, man.
We've decided that rap is ass. So unless it's something that's really worth covering, we're just gonna keep it SDE, like Cameron said. Sex, drugs, entertainment, but it's more like sports and something else with a D, entertainment. I don't know. Pause. Yeah. But I don't have any strong rap takes now, man. It's been a whack year for rap in general. And I saw a new track with Eminem, and he was addressing some things, and it's like, okay. Besides that, I didn't see anything that came out music-wise that piqued my interest. But yeah, RIP to Paul Rubens, though. Pee Wee Herman, he passed away this past week. I didn't know he was 70 years old, man. He did not look it. RIP to him, man. One of my favorite movies growing up, but it also scared me, was Pee Wee's Big Adventure. My mom had this movie on VHS. Our parents had it. I used to watch it. It was a Tim Burton movie, so it had some like really scary stuff in it, but it was also hilarious, man. It was really funny. Classic movie. If you haven't seen it, man, you gotta check it out. It's too funny. But RIP to Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, man. That was pretty sad to hear and shocking to hear. But yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the topics, man. Let's get to the cancellation tour 2023 continuing now with Houston's very own Lizzo is stepping up to the People's Court of Cancellation. There are now allegations against Lizzo, everybody's favorite singer, pop star, rapper, whatever you want to call her, the plus-sized face of the body empowerment. Yeah. And body positivity and healthy at any size. And it's okay if you're fat and on Victoria's Secret covers because that is beautiful as well. She is the face of this movement.
Positive music.
Body positive music, positivity everywhere. She plays the flute. She shows naked ass at Lakers games, and we can't say nothing about it because that's attacking a black woman. So we have to be quiet. And but yeah, she is facing some allegations, man. She is facing the She has been two of her former dancers are filing a lawsuit against her. Now, the charges basically say that she pressured one of them to touch a nude performer at an Amsterdam club and subjected the group to an excruciating audition after leveling false accusations that they were drinking on the job. The dancers also accused Lizzo of calling attention to one dancer's weight gain and later berating and then firing that dancer after she recorded a meeting because of a health condition. They also said she was proselytizing to others to perform and deriding people who had premarital sex while sharing lewd sexual fantasies, simulating oral sex, and publicly discussing the virginity of one of the plaintiffs. Now they were both fired, I want to say in April and May. Lizzo did make a statement. She basically said these things were false. She's hurt by the allegations and they're unbelievable. But I've also heard people who are not involved in a lawsuit, including a filmmaker who was involved in, I guess she was going to make a documentary on Lizzo, but pulled out. And she basically said that, you know, she's not surprised because Lizzo was problematic and she knew it. So a lot of hot takes. One thing I think is interesting is how I've seen a lot of if the allegations are true.
Yeah.
Like tweets.
People being careful with this one. People ain't jumping out the window saying she guilty.
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of if when Jonathan Majors was accused. And we'll get to him as well. There's some new developments with him as well. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of ifs with him or other people, but I've seen the if for Lizzo. I've seen if they're true. Yeah. So yeah, man. It seems like Lizzo's feet are being put to the fire. And what do you think is happening here? Do you believe that first of all, okay, we don't look, we're in the time of guilty or innocent without any proof or any knowledge. So Figgy, what side are you on, man? Did she do it or is she innocent?
She did that shit, man.
She guilty as fuck. Whatever they said she did it.
Yeah, I need to get that drop.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get that drop. 50 Cent on Power. But look, man, I'm gonna treat it like how we treat everything on the show. I feel like we cover a lot of cases. We need to be lawyers or something. But I'm gonna treat this like how we treat everything else. I'm gonna just sit back and kind of observe a little bit. But look, I'm not really surprised at the allegations either, man, because remember, she kind of went through some funky spells before. Remember with the Uber Eats person, or it was something weird where she kind of called out the Uber Eats person online.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. To me, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because I think we actually talked about this on this podcast. How, like, why is you calling somebody out? I felt like she was just doing the most, calling somebody out that probably just trying to make a dollar type thing. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. So if she could do that to an innocent Uber Eats person, I could see her just being a handful to her staff and dancers and stuff like that. Now, look, man, we know how people like to sauce things up. They like to add a little more to the story and all that stuff. And we've seen it with everybody. So this could be the case too, where they could be throwing a little extra sauce to it, putting a little extra seasoning on it. But look, man, I kind of believe some of this stuff, man. It seemed like she's that type of person that would do something like this. And I hate to judge people like that because you never know. But when I seen this, I wasn't even shocked. I was just like, oh, word. Like I was sitting there thinking like, man, I could see her doing something like this. I could see her being a complete asshole to people. And look, let me be clear. I'm not trying to compare her to R. Kelly or anything. But you know how R. Kelly was as an artist? how he had all of this positive music and empowerment type music, but the stuff he was doing outside of the studio was like heinous. She make a lot of positive music, man, where a normal person would be like, oh yeah, she's just a positive person, fun to be around. To me, it seemed like that could be a front. That could just be the laundromat, but really be a drug house or something. I don't know, man. It just seemed kind of funky, and I never had a problem with Lizzo. I wasn't a fan, but I ain't have a problem with Lizzo. But it's stuff starting to come to the light, man. And a lot of people, even though she make a lot of positive music, you could be ugly inside, man. And so I think that might be the case here. But to be fair, I want her, I don't want to judge nobody too quick like that. Maybe these, the accusers could be lying, but I don't know. If I'm a side with somebody, I might side with the victims on this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, to me, when I read the allegations, I mean, there were some that just seemed nasty. Like she wanted people to eat a banana that was in some woman's vagina at some kind of show in Amsterdam and shit. And it's like that kind of stuff is like nasty, man. You can't be pressured. Like, if you want to do that, fine. You can't be pressuring your staff to be doing shit like that. But everything else, man, like I wasn't super shocked. Did she call somebody fat? Probably. Was it hypocritical? Look, just because you fat don't mean you don't see fat. Okay, just because you fat don't mean like they people still act like a fat person can't call somebody fat. Like, fat is fat. Okay, I don't care if you weigh 400 pounds. You see somebody that weigh 300, that person could be like, you fat. You're fat. Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, you're fat too. Yeah, but you're fat too. So nothing. Those kind of things didn't really surprise me, just because maybe you call me a pessimist, but I feel like almost every entertainer is like this, man.
Yeah,
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think with her being this big in entertainment too,
literally.
Yeah, no pun intended. No pun intended. I think this is more likely for her to act this ugly and call people fat and be disrespectful and pressure people to do stuff that they don't want to do. I could see that.
Yeah, man. It's like I really think it's way more rare to find somebody in entertainment who just like treats everybody right. And it's just like a Keanu Reeves. Everybody bring up Keanu Reeves, like he's a super nice guy and just nice to everybody. People bring him up because he's like the exception, man. That's the thing. Everybody in Hollywood and entertainment and music, they put on these high production shows and they have expectations, and when they're not met, they gonna take it out on somebody usually. I'm not defending it. I don't think it's right to treat anybody like shit, man. I don't care who you are, but this has been going on for like Prince. I think he's a genius, one of the best artists ever. He was famous for being an asshole to his staff, man.
Yeah.
There were rules that you couldn't look at him, you couldn't address him. And like he was even people who work with closely, like the Revolution and like Morris Day, like he treated them coldly, man, and they were talented. Yeah. So like he was like a notorious asshole behind the scenes, but he was a music genius, man. So you really couldn't say a whole lot. Now Lizzo, I don't think she's that, but she is talented.
It's just kind of contradicting a little bit because she making all this body positivity music.
Yeah,
or just not even body positivity music, just positive music.
Mm-hmm.
Just just good music. And you would think that person act like that too, or at least not even act like that, but at least was a nice person to their staff. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta be nice to everybody, but at least be nice to the people you work with or the people you hired, and not sitting there doing all this shit.
But see, I don't even expect that, because remember, this reminds me of like, Ellen got put off of TV. She had to leave her show because people found out that she was like a tyrant to her staff. And people thought because she would get up there and dance and be all about positivity and good vibes, that she was a good person. She did that because that's where the money was, man. Like people got to get this right, okay? All this Hollywood shit is an act, okay? All of it is. They go where the money goes. People who are super right wing, you think they might think like that in real life, and then you might meet them in real life, and they really ain't like that. People who are just extreme personalities, period. Like you see them in real life, and you'll realize really quickly that
It's a front.
exactly but they're going to where the money is, and she found a niche and she stuck in it, and she got money from it just like Ellen did. But it don't mean she's a good person. It just means she play one.
Yeah, no, for real, that's true. And I think I was talking to my barber about that, man. How the whole politic game, because I think we was talking about Stephen A. Smith, and I told him I think we talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
How we think he gearing up to try to go to CNN and go to politics, and that's where the money at. Them dudes are making way more money than Stephen A. right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen A. is they got him doing boxing. They got him covering all 3 sports. They got him covering WNBA. They got him doing everything. Radio shows.
Yep.
He's all over the place, man. Red carpet for the ESPYs and the draft and all this other stuff. And it's a lot. We was talking about how it's a lot of people that just switch over to be a right winger just because that's where the money is. They getting all of this clout and they getting a lot of attention doing this and is making money, and they just going with it. Because a perfect example is like was it Clay Travis? A lot of people told me Clay Travis was never into all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until a couple years ago where he actually started leaning more into it, and he's making a bunch of money doing that. So he just stuck over there. Same thing with like a what's his name? What's the fat dude? The fat black dude.
Whitlock. Yeah, Jason Whitlock.
Yeah. Like he just kind of he said a couple things about Kaepernick, and then he just kept going, just went all the way to the right side. And so I don't know how much money he making. I think he doing okay. But man, like a lot of people would do all of that shit for the money, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I don't, just because somebody play a positive person on TV or in music, I don't believe that's who they are. Just like when somebody play a super hard gangster on a record and rap, I don't believe that either. You know, it's good to listen to and play along with, but I don't expect if I meet that person to be like that person. You know, I understand it's an act. They're entertainers for a reason, man.
But see, the problem with that part is they be out here trying to act like that.
Yeah,
do stuff in their music.
Right. And that's the thing with social media has made it worse too, because you get social media is supposed to be like a peek into your real life, but you got people putting on the act now in real life now too.
Yeah,
so the lines are all blurred, and the same thing happened with Lizzo, man, because she was on this positivity thing as well, and everybody just believed it because it was her. She was like the jolly fat black woman, and that everybody wanted to love. And then they found out like, oh, she's just like everybody else in entertainment, basically. But Troy on Facebook said Lizzo's on that Russell Wilson charity front. I mean, kind of. By the way, I did see you tweeted us the picture of them celebrating with the 40s, man. That's crazy because can you imagine winning a championship and somebody pours a 40-ounce of Miller High Life on you? Dog, I'll feel like a prostitute, man. Like who gets a 40-ounce Miller High Life shower?
This is crazy.
It really is, man. Can you imagine? Like, if you chugging it is one thing, but dog, these dudes were probably pouring out on each other. Speaking of which, I know we're going all the way left. Did you hear about that college football player who was taking pictures of people in the locker room and putting them on OnlyFans?
No, I ain't hear about that. Dog,
it was crazy, man. Let me look up this damn story. He was on, what team was he on? I gotta look this up. He was on Clemson, I think. Somebody said Clemens. Is this even true? I hope so. I hope this ain't fake news. I don't know who this. You can't trust a blue check mark no more, man.
I know, man.
But it says through OnlyFans, former maybe Clemson linebacker TJ Dudley made money by selling images of naked unaware teammates in the Clemson locker room, per Beating the Bookie. When the team learned of this matter, they kicked him off the team, and he has since transferred to Ole Miss. So yeah, nasty behavior, man. Nasty behavior. that's Troy said them jerseys gonna stink. HRW said before gyms and juice sell out, they get the hell out. I don't know about that, man. If the bag is big enough, look, you might see us anywhere, dog. You don't count it out, man. If the bag is big, I don't know. You might see us conversation.
We're gonna be starting the podcast like, yeah, shout out to Clay Travis, y'all.
Or we might go the other way, man. We might do a podcast with Jamel Hill called If the Bag Big Enough, you might catch us anywhere, man. Look, integrity is dead, dog. Okay, let's be real. Integrity don't exist no more. The kids don't respect it. Adults don't respect it. Integrity is a artifact of the past now. Nobody has it no more.
I feel like integrity keep you broke too.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Like, you know, somebody with good integrity that just made it and became so rich and successful.
Yeah,
without having to sell out. I feel like integrity just, you know,
it is.
The only thing you get out of is, see, I got integrity, but you still here.
Exactly. And that reminds me of, you know, the Black Eyed Peas, when they started out with a black woman as a singer, and everybody used to spread the rumor that they kicked her out for Fergie, but she left, like she quit the group. And I think it was over creative differences. She didn't like the way they were going, the way the music was sounding. So she left. She wanted to stand on her principles about the music. And now look where she is and look where they are, man.
Yeah.
So that's what integrity gets you, man. You get left out in the cold while everybody else gets the bag.
Well, at least you held your own.
Yep.
That's all you held your own. You ain't want to do what nobody what they were telling you to do. You stood your ground.
You ain't want to do let's get it started because you thought it was corny. Now look at you. Yeah.
You ain't like them telling you what to do. So you stood your ground.
Yep.
Kept your integrity.
Yep. Now you working at Trader Joe's, but hey, at least you got your integrity, man. That's what it costs, man. That's what it costs. HRW said G&J live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Look, dog, if Saudi Arabia throw the bag, I'm there, okay? I don't care, dog. We're going to catch us with a turban.
We be coming in playing, we getting that rap money. We getting that rap money.
We're going to play that Jay-Z and Punjabi MC song every single day. Yeah. That Beware the Boys shit.
You're gonna be playing Timberland Indian flute.
Yep. No, you might catch us out there. If they throw us a bag, man, they done offered Mbappe $1 billion. This man got it. But he can afford to have integrity.
Yeah,
Mbappe in soccer, he turned down $1 billion from them.
Yeah, that's the thing. And even somebody like Tiger Woods, who turned down that live money.
Yeah,
he got enough money where he can finally have integrity. But somebody like me, people would be talk about how stupid we are if we turn that down because we want, we got too much integrity. Like, y'all are stupid.
Yeah, that's all that, dog. That used to be a thing in hip hop, not selling out, but that thing went away. And like, I want to say the mid to late 90s, nobody stopped caring. I blame Diddy in part for that, because he started to stop hate movement and all this stuff. And now we are where we are. But it is what it is, man. Miguel's asked if we've seen that Oscar De La Hoya documentary on Max. No, I didn't even know it was out. I'll check it out. I got to catch up with a lot of documentaries, man. I got to see that American Gladiator documentary. There's a few things I got to check out that I've just been slacking on, man. Maybe I'll do that this weekend, my last free weekend, or one of my last free weekends before the fucking NFL season starts. Troy said them jerseys gonna stink. Yeah, man, you gonna come home, your girl gonna think you was at a strip club smelling like 40-ounce Miller High Life. Miguel asked, what if the Titans call, would you sell if the Titans call, would you sell the Texans? Yes.
Hey, money talk, man.
Yeah.
Money talk.
Hey, the Titans got to look. If y'all are listening in Nashville, I believe you guys have a good shot at winning the division this year. Okay. I like the retro uniforms. I don't care what these haters say. Go ahead and rock them. But yeah, I don't think we're big in Nashville. So forget that, Houston Texans fans. I'm sorry. He also asked if we talked about McClain calling out Janice McNair. No, I don't really care about that. So a quick recap. He called out the fact that Janice McNair was in a tent with AC, and he was like, "It must be nice. I wish they had that for the media." And then the Texans PR account retweeted that and said, "Hey, we actually do have all these tents with AC for the media."
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I usually don't get into like all this media back and forth and all this stuff, but I feel like that's like a super petty thing to complain about. Like we're really getting here now,
Yeah.
complaining about the AC.
The crazy part about it is, like, look, Janice McNair is in a wheelchair, man. She like 86. Dog, she can't look. We can't be out in that heat that much, man. So I know she can't be out in the heat. So for him to just throw that out there was a little bit weird. On top of him lying because it is a tent with AC in there, and he been inside the tent. That was like, dude, he been inside the tent for the press conferences. It's AC in that tent, and it's a cooler with water and all that stuff. So it was a little bit weird, but it's funny because Cal and Hannah was on the afternoon show today, and they actually they talked about it a little bit. How I guess Hannah was at practice yesterday. She actually went inside the tent to see. She said she thought it was like a sauna so she had to go in there and see. And she was like, it's AC just like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Cal kind of threw a little stuff out there, like, yeah, we giving water, we looking out for the media. So pretty much, why the hell is he tweeting this?
Yeah, it seems super silly, man. I really didn't get that whole thing, but I didn't pay too much close attention to it. Miguel said, "You as bad as McClain." Look, Miguel, you would do the same damn thing, okay? If somebody offered you $1 million and said, "Look, here's $1 million check. The catch is you cannot wear any Houston Texans merchandise. You have to be a Titans fan. You can only rock Titans gear. And you can only support the Titans." You would take that check without a moment's notice, man, okay? $1 million will solve a lot of your problems in life, all of our problems in life, honestly, for the most part. You would take that damn check and you would throw your jerseys in the trash, okay? Let's be real. All of us can be bought, all right?
You'll be rocking that Oilers gear with no I'll be slick with it. I rock the Houston Oilers gear. So I'll be a little slick because that's technically theirs.
Yeah.
I'll be rocking that at least.
Yeah, nah. You would definitely look. We all for the bag at this point. Screw it. Integrity is dead, like I said. D McNeil says y'all should give McClain the slime off champion for the rest of the month for that ridiculous tweet.
That was bad, man.
Nah, it was, man. That was just a weird, such a petty thing to say, man. I really couldn't believe it. He said he ain't seen him call out Amy Adams. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, enough of John McClain, man. We didn't talk about John McClain for 2 podcasts straight, okay? We moving on. A lot of stuff happened this week. Oh yeah, I've seen this development. I guess we're talking about the post Shannon Sharp edition of Undisputed. We still don't know who the full-time co-host is going to be yet. I've heard Shady McCoy was mentioned early on, rumored, and then I heard who was it? Richard Sherman. Yeah, he was supposed to be. He was in talks, but one guy is confirmed. They said that Lil Wayne is going to be a weekly guest on Undisputed. How do you feel about this with Lil Weezy being on Undisputed once a week?
But see, this is not his first time being on there. So I think he was on there before.
He's been on there a lot.
Yeah, and to me, it wasn't good, man. I feel like Lil Wayne not giving you any insight, and I'm not saying I'm going there for information and all that stuff, but I don't even think it was entertaining. So Yeah, I think Skip Bayless and FS1 is kind of lost because they ain't gonna find anybody bigger than Shannon Sharp to replace Shannon Sharp. So anybody gonna be a downgrade unless they. I don't even know who they would get, man. Unless they get somebody like a Mad Dog Russo or something like that. They could just yell at each other. But I think they kind of in a funky position, man, because they they can't they can't and ain't no sexy name out there because you could get Shady McCoy, but who is are you tuning in to watch Shady McCoy and Skip Bayless? Unless you like a diehard fan or sports, you gonna watch the show regardless. But that's not making me want to watch the show. Richard Sherman not making me want to watch the show. So I don't know. I think they're gonna end up doing what First Take is doing now. They're gonna do like a rotating guest and just make it the Skip Bayless show. And whoever you want to have on at that moment, they could just hop on. And which I think is kind of smart too, because a lot of the stuff, man, I feel like he won't be limited because a lot of people when you get like an NFL start like a Shady McCoy, like what you gonna talk about? I want to hear Shady McCoy talk about the Lakers. Like, what do you know about the NBA and the Lakers and all this other stuff? Or if it's the Yankees, if they talking about the Yankees or baseball, what is he gonna say about that? I don't, or Rich. Same thing with Richard Sherman. I don't want to hear Richard. And I think Richard Sherman is good. I think he good what he do, but I think having a rotating guest like that, I think it can open more doors. So they could bring on a baseball person whenever they talk about the Yankees, or bring on some type of basketball person when talking about basketball or something. So I think they're going to end up moving in that direction.
Yeah, the key is they never talk about baseball though, man. So I don't think they'll bring on
Yeah,
anybody for baseball.
yeah,
But
yeah. But
it's gonna be the Cowboys person and the Lakers person. That's they need two guests, okay? The Cowboys person and the Lakers person, because that's the only topics. And the Tom, well, I guess Tom Brady ain't a factor no more. So it's like the LeBron person and the Cowboys person. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Mad Wine Chemist says Lil Wayne is going on this week, like this whole week, this upcoming week. He's gonna be on every show. I don't know how that's gonna look, man. And I don't like Lil Wayne doesn't have anything to offer in terms of sports takes, man. And I also hate when they get a guest on like that because you're never gonna get Skip arguing with Lil Wayne, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Lil
yeah,
Wayne's just gonna say whatever, and Skip is just gonna roll with it.
yeah. And Skip not about to get into his Skip Bayless bag. He
Yeah.
pretty much going to cater to the guests, which he should, but he ain't going to get in this Skip bag where he throw out something outlandish. He just going
Yeah.
to love up on the guests.
Yeah, I don't like there's only been a few people that I actually thought were good. Surprisingly, Nelly was really good on First Take when he showed up, man. Nelly did a good
Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, that was back when it was Skip and Stephen A. And Nelly showed up. I think Carrie Champion was hosting at the time. And Nelly did a great job, man. He knew what he was talking about. He had a fiery take, and like he was good at breaking down the Lakers shit. And I know he was controversial. I think he said that the Lakers should have traded Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
And he was getting flack for that. But this is a wash Kobe at that point, man. But they were killing him for that. But he was actually really entertaining. But Lil Wayne is just not, man. He's not that. Like, I know they're good friends, and he did the opening song, which sounds like ass, by the way. I hate that. And I won't back down. I hate that crap, man. But
let's celebrate.
dog, did Swiss Beats make that beat, man? Who produced that trash, man? It was awful. Miguel says they need the black guy to yell at Skip. Yes, there has to be a black person there. It's gonna definitely be a black person. Mad Wine Chemist said, "No, Mad Dog, please. His takes are so bad." Yeah, he's good for like the once a week troll on First Take. I couldn't take him a whole week on any show, man.
I don't really care for him on TV. I think he's better just being a radio guy that's just going off on tangents. But I don't really care for him on TV like that.
Yeah, and I also feel like Stephen A is too like friendly with him as well. They kind of jokingly go back and forth, but they don't really get into it as much as they should. I think JJ Redick is more pissed at Mad Dog than Stephen A does, because I think Stephen A respects Mad Dog a lot, because basically he opened that whole lane up for the loud, opinionated sports guy.
Yeah, he ain't gonna go off on Mad Dog for real.
Yeah. So it kind of lacks the bite. Matt Weinkimis also asked, "What about Nick Wright?" Nick Wright, I don't think is going to do it. I don't think Skip would like Nick Wright, and I don't think Nick Wright would work with. I just don't think we worked with him. I don't know him personally like really well, but I just don't think he would do a show with Skip Bayless, man. I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
I don't think that would work. So we'll see who replaces him. I don't know what direction they're gonna go, but I don't know. We'll see.
I do see. So did you know Skip? Not Skip. Yes. Did you know Skip Bayless had a I guess it's like a podcast. He pretty much do it like how Stephen A do his show.
Yeah.
I just found that out a couple days ago. So it seemed like they pretty much doing the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, neither podcast is really great, but I think at least Stephen A is like, it's more off the cuff.
It's off
and he
the cuff
also and he says some stuff that he can't talk about on First Take.
Yeah,
but Skip Bayless's podcast is terrible because he writes down everything he says and he just reads it off a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So
I think he's trying to get to that point. What Stephen A is doing, pretty much being the Skip Bayless show. So it's funny how they're pretty much trying to do the same shit now.
Yeah.
So I could totally see rotating guests.
Yeah, it is. Matt Weinkind has said Skip's podcast where all he does is apologizing. Yeah, he explains stuff that happened. He had a whole podcast about Charles Barkley. He also said he wants Charles Barkley to be on Undisputed too. You know, he's definitely not going to do that. Charles Barkley ain't working 5 days a week, man. Okay, let's get that straight. He's only still on TNT because he only got to show up most weeks on 1 day a week, one night a week, and that's it. Any more than that, he wouldn't do it.
And he getting paid some good money.
A lot of money, man.
Yeah.
So no, he would not do.
He actually like.
Exactly. So nah, Charles Barkley ain't doing no damn Undisputed, man. But Skip's podcast is terrible. But I do think like all these guys are too late hopping on the podcast bag. I think it's gonna work out because they got. Stephen A got ESPN pushing his podcast. He's got a lot of subscribers and he puts out some good content. But all these people have kind of, I don't want to say missed the boat, but they're just late.
Yeah.
And I feel like none of them really thought that podcast would take off like this. I think they thought it was a fad. I think, we had guys like Bomani Jones, who's one of the first people to really get on it and be big with it, really build a following. But these guys, I feel like, they didn't respect the format until they saw somebody like a Pat McAfee, come up independent, doing his thing, and other podcasts like Dan Le Batard even, and everybody doing these podcast, radio show type things and blowing up off it. Now they want to do the podcast.
Or even before that, man, because even when Le Batard was doing his thing, I still feel like they didn't really care for it, especially somebody like a Skip who have a TV show. So why would I need a podcast if I have my own show on a big network?
Yeah.
But now you got people like Barstool, who is pretty much, they not bigger than ESPN, but I felt like they doing something that ESPN wasn't doing. Just, putting everything on, like having pretty much a radio show as a TV show. And now that's all, it seems like that's what ESPN is trying to do now. So, man, I see why people like not I was about to say Shannon Sharp, but Skip Bayless is trying. He's doing a TV show, and he's also trying to do somewhat of a podcast radio show where it's just him, where he just pretty much doing what everybody else is doing. It's like now having a podcast is the criteria to be a personality. If I have a TV show, now I gotta have a podcast too, even if it's just a re-rack of the TV show.
Yeah.
Because why is it an undisputed podcast? You know what I mean? It's like they gotta have a podcast. That's part of the rules. And it's I don't know, it's silly. And they're not even doing it right.
Yeah, I think Skip's life is just too boring to have a podcast too, man. Like I think some of his clips might go viral when he's responding to somebody who said something. But besides that, like I don't care about him comparing his life to Tom Brady, man. Now, that is so corny to hear, and that's what he does a whole lot. So I don't think he's entertaining enough to sustain his own podcast like that. But yeah, it does seem like a requirement, man. Miguel says, Figgy applied for the gig. Nick went from 6'10 to FS1. Why not you? Hey, man, you never know.
I'm not trying to
put your hat in. Put your hat in, man. You might make it.
I don't even want to debate the people I'm doing the show with. Like that's the one thing about me. Like I like to have discussions and stuff like that, but when it comes to sitting there, hey, let's have a debate about it. I'm out, man. Because if I give my piece and you say, "Oh no, you don't agree with it," I ain't about to keep going to make you agree with me. You know what I mean? I might call you stupid or something, but I don't know, man. People that debate, that's a special talent to me. People
it is because like they're all like I feel like there always has to be an opposite take, so these people are just making stuff up to argue at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of like his show or other shows like that. They probably sit down, look at a board, and they say, "All right, I want you to take. You're gonna take the opposite side of this because they ain't gonna. You notice they don't agree on everything unless it's just blatant craziness where you can't take the other side. But most of the time, man, if it's like they put a picture of Tom Brady up there, I'm gonna tell y'all why he the greatest of all time, and somebody else gonna take the other side. It's just devil's advocate the whole time.
Yeah, man, it's getting played out a little bit, man. I think the podcast and the personalities reacting to things is more popular now than the debate shows at this point, especially with the younger audience. I don't think the younger audience wants to see old men argue about LeBron or MJ. They want to see their favorite streamer like react to a game or give his take or something like that. So the podcast is going to be the future.
Just wait till wait till we get to these times where you gonna have people on ESPN trying to play video games and stream. We're gonna get to that point one day, man.
We already are. Like, man, everybody is talking about how great the Manning cast is, and now they do it with Stephen A. Smith for the NBA. This started because of Twitch and YouTube, man. This reaction content is everywhere now. Like seeing your favorite personality react to something. You got Twitch streamers reacting to basketball games live, and that's where it started. It is all going to go from there, man. So it's all about reaction content. It's not so much about two people debating about LeBron or MJ. That's played out at this point, man. Nobody really cares about that, especially in the younger generation. Matt Wine Kimmons says he just turns podcast into a sneaker and fashion show. Skip wants to be the sneakerhead at 65 years old. It's really embarrassing, man. Like, look, if you got a sneaker collection, fine, but it's super like him showing off his fits. Trying to look like a 25-year-old black man is kind of embarrassing, man. Like, just keep wearing your suits and your button-ups and leave the sneakers alone, man. You look kind of goofy wearing them.
Yeah.
Miguel says Lopez and Landry can go all day. Yeah, they have to, man. They're hosts of the radio show. They gotta be able to go back and forth all the time.
Special talent.
It really is, man. I feel like if we did nothing but debate on this podcast, I don't think we would have made it past like 50 episodes, man.
Yeah.
I think we would have been like, I'm sick of this, dog. I'm sick of arguing every single Thursday.
And that's how people grow to hate each other.
Yep.
That's how, like, a lot of these shows that are like that, man, you hear behind the scenes how they can't stand each other.
Yep.
Because I think Shannon and Skip was cool at first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then get to a point where you just hate each other. Like all that debating, that shit started getting to the heart.
It does, man. It really does. So yeah, I don't know who's going to replace Shannon, but I don't think Undisputed will ever get back what it had with him, man. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. Other news: I saw Kodak Black was rushed to the hospital today. Don't know what that was about. I've seen him struggling, man. I'll say this much. I know he had been on Instagram Live. Somebody was recording him, and he was obviously like super high off his ass, man, off of something crazy.
Yeah.
So he's been struggling, man. Hopefully, he gets the help he needs. I didn't see any more information about it. Hopefully, he's okay, man. But yeah, he seems to be going through some rough times with them drugs and all that. So,
Yeah.
Miguel asks, "How did Galan at Night do it? Did you argue with Paul?" I didn't like. I argued with Paul, but it was things where I just thought he was being silly. But it wasn't every single segment, every single. I think we argued a lot about James Harden because he hates James Harden. He hates the Rockets. So, but the thing is, like, Paul could take a joke. He can take a like, and we didn't get mad at each other. You know, like he gave his thoughts. I would say why I think he's just being biased because he had personal beef with the Rockets. So that bled into all his takes about the Rockets. And I was like, man, he was being biased with that. But we got along great, man. It was never serious, anything we talked about or debated. And it was always a good time. It was always good natured, man. And he knew that he was being biased, but he just didn't care. And that's what made it funny. So it was all good with him. We got to talk to Kai Cenat riot in New York City. Everybody was mad at Travis Scott. So I want to see the same smoke for this Twitch streamer. Now, if y'all don't know, apparently Kai Cenat, who is one of the biggest Twitch streamers around right now, had a meetup with Phenom, I think, something like that. Phenom, Phantom, I think his name is, and who is a YouTuber, one of the bigger YouTubers out there. And they're going to have a meetup where they're going to give away PS5s and PCs and gift cards and stuff. So a bunch of people came out to this event and they acted all crazy. They were jumping on cars, stealing stuff, acting wild. They was jumping on Kai's car and some of them flew off the car and it just turned into a madhouse. The cops arrested Kai Cenat and are charging him with multiple counts, including 2 counts of inciting a riot and other things. And yeah, it just turned crazy, man. So what do you think about these streamers, man, and just the impact it's having in this little event in New York that went down earlier today?
This is, to me, I addressed the whole streamer thing. I guess the streamer world. This is crazy. Like, this is like, if you see these videos on social media, this is like on some Michael Jackson just arrived type shit, man. If I was around during that time, I would be like, who is this person? I got to get a picture with this person. This person must be a big time star. I would not have guessed that this person was just a streamer on Twitch. So I'm looking at the videos now. This is insane, man. Like I can't believe that. It could be me out there trying to give away some PS5s, and I don't think it would be like this. But I just think that's crazy. I just don't know how people would be that obsessed with somebody like that. Like I get it if it was Michael Jackson. That's the only person. If it was Michael Jackson, I would get it. I don't even think people will be going this crazy over Beyonce. But as far as him getting charged with all of these counts of riot and all this other stuff, I mean, and this is similar to the whole Travis Scott thing, because we had the conversation about Travis Scott and if he intended to do this and what was his intentions and all this other stuff. Unless it came out of his mouth that said, hey, we're going to riot and we're going to do all of this crazy stuff until somebody die and not help them. I don't get how he should be charged with this, man. Because people do this all the time where they say, "Hey, uh, meet me if you want some tickets to this game. Meet me here," or something like that. These kids, unless he really told these kids to just act a fool, I just don't get how Travis Scott it like how is this not the same thing? I don't get it. It seemed like this dude is personally getting attacked, and it's all his fault. But these kids, like right before, I think, right before Astro World, these kids was literally lurking around trying to figure out how to break in, and they actually did break in and hop fences and all that stuff. So that alone should have been a damn charge. But I know that's a concert, and that's kind of the vibe I think that's the vibe they wanted. But this is crazy, man. I've never seen anything like this for a streamer.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It was jumping on a car. You would think like the Yankees, or not even Yankees, like maybe the Knicks just won a championship because it's been so long for them. But yeah, it was wild, man. I mean, the difference between Travis Scott and this, though, I will say, Travis Scott had an event that was planned months in advance, and it was a show that had the proper, well, maybe not the proper security, but it was planned out to have security and emergency services and all this stuff. This was more, from what I understand, it was kind of like a guerrilla style. They just announced, hey, we're going to be out here and we're going to shoot a video and we're going to give away stuff. And I'm sure a lot of these people didn't even know who these guys were. I mean, a lot of them did, I'm sure. But some people just heard free stuff and they came out there. So I think a lot of it was that, just the fact that there was no proper city planning in it. They just said, we're going to be out here, come out. And people showed up and there was like no security around to really monitor things, and things just got out of control. And then you also take into account that these are guys who kind of are known for acting crazy on stream. These guys, like, I don't get the streamer thing, man. Like this, Kai Cenat and I Show Speed is another guy too. The Speed guy is like a guy who's known for just acting an ass in public. And look, I feel like this is what happens when we don't have like really great black entertainers. Like people would go this crazy for Eddie Murphy in the 80s. But Eddie Murphy was hilarious in the 80s, man, okay? Like he was a person whose talent made it worth, people going crazy when they saw him. These guys on Twitch, man, look, I'm not a hater. Get your money however you can, I guess, as long as it's legal. But I've seen clips, I've seen videos, and I get the streamer thing. I watch streamers as well. I'm into Twitch now. There's some streamers I like to see have on background noise when I'm working and stuff, and I get it. But these guys, man, I don't get how they got so big. Like their stuff just ain't funny. Like it's really just it's really more cringy to me, honestly. Some of the stuff they do and say is just, it makes me cringe, man. I'm like, ugh. And they got millions of subscribers. They got all this support, and the kids just love them. And I watch the videos. I just don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I don't see any kind of talent. I just see, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, man. But there's like no thought that goes into the content, no kind of planning, production, anything. It's just niggas acting wild.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part, because I felt like if we decide to do a Twitch stream, which we Gems the Juice is on Twitch.
Yeah.
Out to everybody on Twitch. If we decide to do like a real Twitch show like how they do, and just play some games and just have a real conversation, it will be really mapped out. It will be professional, mapped out. It seems like they just get on there and just be on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, like, we work in radio, so we know all about teasing something. We know about introducing something. And we start a show up. We start off a show like it's like we got new subscribers, like we got new listeners. So you know, we got Figgy Fig here, we got Ryan Rock. You know, we introduced the show. They don't do any of that. So if I decide to watch one of his videos, I don't know what's going on. And you know, Radio 101, that's not a good thing because we're taught to treat every segment like it's a new show, like it's somebody first time listening. So it should be all over the place where me personally, I can't even get into it because I don't know what's going on. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. I think part of it is just like people like to, the youth is always going to want to wild out. And when they see somebody wilding out, you know, that's attractive to them, you know, because they see somebody living a life that they either live already or want to live. So that's part of it. But it's just, I felt like back in the day that required talent to get that kind of reaction, you know, whereas now it's more clout based. You know, people doing things for reaction. There's a lot of goofy stuff that goes big, like the prank stuff. I hate, man. I really hate these pranks people do like they're just mean spirited, dog. Honestly, like I get pranking your friends. I get like the jackass thing and just kind of lightly messing with people. But I've seen some shit where like people trick people into thinking they're gonna get like a shopping spree at a at a grocery store and they're blindfolded and then they run off. Like stuff like that, like is just mean spirited, man.
Yeah.
And that's like where this town is based off now. Pranks, stupid stunts, and it's just
Ignorant
I'm not with
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
It really is, man. It really is. And I'm not really with like just messing with people for no reason, you know. So I'm not with all that, but you know, what can I say? I'm old. We've all
got integrity, man.
yeah.
And look, we broke.
Yeah, exactly. Here, shit. That should have been us, man. Shit, fuck it. We changing the Gems and Juice to Figgy and Rockett Do Whatever podcast. Okay. We're gonna see how that works for us. We're gonna tear up this rundown and just play games. We're gonna wild out, play games, and try to get banned.
Got a spree, a shopping spree going.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, meet up downtown. I'm giving out some PS5. So meet us downtown right now if you listening.
Yes, we're gonna drive out there and give away PS5s and all that stuff.
Bring some cameras too, so we can record some shit
for a YouTube video. So yeah, well, I don't know, man. Matt Wine can have said drink wine. Yeah, man, we just gonna get drunk every podcast from now on and just talk about whatever. Try to get banned to be offensive. That's the marketing goal at this point. That seems to be where everybody's going with this YouTube and streamer content. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Other things that happened this week. There were some developments in the Jonathan Majors case, man. Apparently it's being reported that the prosecution is having trouble because the lady who is filing the charges or is named in the lawsuit or the case or whatever, I forget the legalese definition, but apparently the accuser has fled the country allegedly because of let me actually read the tweets. This is from a Dennis Byron, who is a news producer. I don't know. He kind of looks like Brother Mazone in his profile picture, man, from The Wire. So I don't know how legit this news is. But he says, update. Hollywood actor Jonathan Majors arrived to New York criminal court today for trial, only to learn that prosecutors aren't ready to present their case. The problem is that his accuser has fled the country and NYPD is looking to charge her with assault. His girlfriend, Megan Good, was by his side during his brief appearance. So he talked about this earlier about the NYPD saying that they could charge her with assault, apparently looking into this case. And now she can't be found, allegedly. So, how the turntables have turned.
Had the tables that turned.
Yep. Like I'm starting to see, because I see Disney Plus is advertising the new Loki season 2, and they're not shy about showing Jonathan Majors in it. So I'm starting to think that this is gonna end up blowing over, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And not to sound selfish, but I'm glad they just didn't overreact at the moment. I'm glad they just kind of let it play out to see what's up, because they could have easily killed him off somehow. It did that because the internet was going in on him. And if this stuff would have happened, and let's say everything get dropped, then now now they look stupid. But yeah, man, I still think it's safe to say that I don't know what happened, and I don't want to sit there and say, yeah, I don't want to take no victory lap or nothing like that. But I do think it's important that we sit back. There's nothing wrong with sitting back, wait till the details come out, and go from there, man. A lot of people see little stuff and they try to crown them as guilty. Sometimes you just gotta chill, man. I think it's a little strange that this lady took off like that. Now, I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of shows like Scandal and all these crazy ass shows. So my mind was thinking maybe they they paid her a lot of money and told her to get the fuck out this country right now, and she took off. So that's where my mind went. But look, man, if something really happened, man, she'll be still here, man. She'll be going through all the stuff, man. So yeah, man, it's it's funny because I don't really see nobody talking about this.
Nah, man.
It's like quiet as a damn church mouse.
Look, the day when let's assume the charges get dropped. Do you think that news is going to be anywhere as big as it was when the charges were first
Of
announced?
course not. Of
It's
course,
mainly going to be people saying,
gonna be
where were y'all at? Like, why ain't this being blown
yeah.
up?
It's gonna be mainly a lot of guys, because a lot, this is like a rare victory for a guy. Because a lot of the women, and then it was a couple guys that kind of pandered towards the women, trying to say, "Oh, we stand with all women" and all this other stuff. They're gonna be pretty quiet. There's gonna be some that still try to say, "Well, stuff like this do happen in real life." They're gonna try to change it a little bit, but I think mainly it'd be people like the ones that said, "Hey, let's wait and see." They're gonna be the ones that's doing the victory lap, but that wasn't a lot of them, man.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the controversial influencer podcast people who were on his side from the beginning and said it was a lie without knowing anything as well. They're gonna take their victory lap as well. So the gender war is just never gonna end online, man. That's one thing I've learned. But yeah, we'll see, man. I was always on the side of let's wait and see, because Mad Wine Kenneth says the truth is never as loud as a lie. Yeah, very true, man. But nobody wants to admit they're wrong. That's one thing as well. Nobody wants to admit, well, I was wrong here. So that's why it's never as loud, because people pick a side, and if your side is wrong, you just ignore it.
Yeah. You know the other thing on the internet that was like a war between this two? So we always had the gender wars. But the other war on this was the women that actually liked Jonathan Majors, think he was cute and fine and all this other stuff, that was defending him. So you had that against guys who felt like who probably didn't really fuck with him from the beginning. That was like, hey, how come you don't do that with other guys? How come you giving him a pass? That was like another another war thing going on too, with women defending him because they actually like him and think he's cute, and saying, hey, let's wait till things play out. And then the other guys that said, hey, no, how come y'all doing that with him? Y'all only doing that with him because he's cute. Y'all don't do it with nobody else. So why with him? Why is it different with him? So that was like another war game going on too.
Yeah, and then you have people switching sides as well. Because remember, look, when Jonathan Majors was everybody's favorite young black actor, men weren't on his side like this, man.
Nah,
We made fun of
they
the
fuck with him
goofy
like
suits
that.
he wore. We made fun of the fact that he was always naked everywhere he went for a photo shoot. We
Yeah,
made fun of the suspect picture he took
They-
with Michael B. Jordan.
yeah, they
We
trying
got
to.
clown for this stuff, man.
Yeah, people were saying they trying to diminish a black man, a strong
Yes.
black man. They had that conversation.
Yes. And now suddenly when the accusations came, it's the same thing that happened with OJ and the same thing that happened with Kobe. These people were not that popular among black men until the accusations came.
Yeah,
And then suddenly there was a defense force for this guy. So Matt Wine Kenneth says the war between black women being mad that he was dating a white woman and those that didn't care. Yeah, that's another one.
that was another one. Yep.
There's a lot of little mini confrontations about this one case, man.
Yeah,
You had interracial dating, you had gender wars, you had cute bias, I guess, where if a handsome
Yeah.
man does it, then you see it differently. You had a lot of little mini wars. It wasn't just a gender war. It was like little mini confrontations, like a lot of battles going on in this war.
yeah,
Separate battles.
yeah.
So,
Do you still think it's weird he's dating Megan Good?
yeah, but I mean, it's obvious what that is, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's very obvious. This is the
This is
PR
the, this is the
cleanup.
OJ. Let me put some black pictures up.
Yes,
in my
it's the
house.
Michael B. Jordan and Chloe Baylor, not Chloe, but the Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan thing. It's all
Yeah.
we've seen this before, man.
Mm-hmm.
We know what it is, but hey, at least she getting her bag for whatever she got to do. So there
Yeah.
you go. Other things that happened. I guess Threads just ain't gonna make it, man.
Yeah.
Because these Twitter competitors, or Twitter is now X, by the way. It's now X. RIP Twitter, 2012 through 2023. We got Leia to rest. No more Bluebird. No more word tweet, period.
Did all yours change?
Everything has changed now.
Okay.
Man. There ain't no retweet. There ain't no tweet button. There ain't no bird. It's just post and repost, and it's the X.
Yeah.
It looks so ugly, man. That's my thing. Like,
Yeah.
it looks so ugly, dog. Sidebar, this is not just a Twitter thing. Every corporate logo has gotten ugly as shit, man.
Yeah.
They're
Why is all these logos going black?
they're black. They're very, very generic. Like, there is a timeline of like all these corporate logos, what they look throughout time and what they look like now. And the now version is just like some minimalist, ugly shit, man. There's like no color in anything anymore. There's no graphic design. It's just very basic type stuff with the logos for everything now, man. I don't understand this shift. I don't like it. Can we bring back some color? Can we bring back some design? It's just ugly, man.
It is.
But X is, I guess, still king because Threads, Mark Zuckerberg admitted that Threads has lost over about like 50% of its users. It had a spark when it started. Now it's just garbage, I guess.
Yeah.
Blue Sky, I don't think it's publicly traded, so I don't think they can really release what happened. But I'm on Blue Sky, and it's not doing too well either. There's a lot of little mini controversies going on over there as well. So, yeah, man. So X ain't going nowhere. No matter what Elon does to try to destroy it, it just seems to be immortal.
Yeah. It's so much invested into it, man. Like I know we joked around about it last time we talked about this, but you could post porn, you could post all type of random stuff like that, man. I know people complain about how it's like it's not like you can't say certain stuff on there now, you'll get blocked or banned. But you can still post porn on there, man. You can still it's still ways around that. You can't do that with Meta. You can't do that. Even with Meta, like Instagram and all that stuff, you can't even post a damn song on there, man. You'll get blocked, like copyrighted and all that stuff. I don't know if maybe they in bed with these record labels or something, but you can't post no music or anything. I don't know if it's like that. I don't think you can post. I don't know if it's like that with Threads, but it's so many limitations with Meta, and that's the frustrating thing about it, man. That's why I like Twitter, man. Everything on there goes.
Yeah. I also saw now that okay, we can't say Twitter no more, it's X.
Man,
Man. What up, Tab? See you in the comments. What's going on, Tab? He said, fuck Threads, it sucks. Yeah, man, I don't think it's working out that well. Matt Wine Kenneth said, X is more established. You can't kill it. Elon is proving this every day. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's proven like, look, no matter
How many
what.
times we said Twitter is over?
Yeah, I know. No matter how many times I step on this crack, y'all still gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
I can mix it with a bunch of Arm & Hammer and anything else I want and cut it and make it bare bones. You still gonna smoke it, you junkies. So, look, I don't know. Like I'm done trying to leave Twitter or X.
Yeah.
I'm here, man. All the jokes are here. All the funny posts. I also saw that he's getting people the ability to hide their blue check now, which is hilarious. You know, now you can hide your blue check if you have one.
See,
so
I kind of like that a little bit because it was a couple times I thought about paying for Twitter Blue, but I didn't want the check.
Yep.
Because a lot of people got Twitter Blue but didn't want the check. And it's like it forced you to get the check, and that just bring more heat to you. So every time you say a hot take or some shit, somebody gonna be like, oh, I would expect this for somebody who's paying for it.
Yeah.
Man, I got that a couple times, and even though I never paid for a check. But yeah, man, I kind of like that, but I don't know what he doing, man. But
it's just hilarious how he destroyed the blue check so quickly, man. It used to be something that people begged for and wanted so bad, and now something like the mark of the beast, where nobody wants it. People don't want to get made fun of for having it. There's a lot of drama between people. People are making like apps to immediately block people who have blue checks. Like it got that bad, man. So yeah, it went from everybody respecting the blue check and wanting it to hating it.
Yeah, it's crazy because like a blue check always meant you were official, like you the real deal. Now I don't want a blue check at all. I don't want it on TikTok. I don't want it on Twitter. I don't want it on Instagram. I'm just like, I don't care at that point unless they give it to me. But I'm not working to try to get this blue check anymore. I was working my ass off to try to get the blue check on Twitter. I was trying to find some type of way. The only thing I would not do is try to pay for it. But I was trying to work some type of way to get a blue check mark. And damn it, I got it. But yeah, all of that is over with for that, man. I don't care.
Yeah, man. It's look. I saw something where he's talking about Twitter Blue people might be able to download videos from tweets. If he has that, I'm seriously going to consider buying the Blue. Look, dog, do you understand how many funny memes? Number one, here's the issue. There used to be an app, or there still is an app called Jiffitize, where you could send it and you could immediately download Twitter videos. So these memes are important to me, man. I got friends I send these memes to and we laugh over it. But he changed something with the third-party apps, and now the app don't work no more. So now I can't download videos from my phone on Twitter. If he has the ability to download any video or meme from Twitter to my phone, I'm seriously going to consider buying. Look, I don't want to support Elon or X, but the memes are important, man. And there's funny shit that I want to save because I don't want to. There's videos I know I'll never be able to find again. And they were so funny to me, but I can't find them no more. Yeah. So I have to save these things, man. And if he has that ability, you might see me with a if you see me with an extra long tweet, don't ask no questions, okay?
Or with a blue check.
Yeah, because you know they got more, you can write like a book if you got if you got a blue check now. So
Yeah.
if you see me give like a 500 word response about a movie or something, mind your business, okay? Don't ask how I tweeted that much, okay? It ain't your business.
Yeah,
I'm hiding my blue check.
man.
So I don't know, man. But
Yeah, Twitter's still the GOAT, man.
it is, no matter X is now it's so stupid. Like why so stupid. I don't get it. Other news. Oh yeah, we never did cover this, man. It completely slipped my mind last podcast, but it was something that just took everybody by shock. LeBron James' oldest son, LeBron James Jr., also known as Bronny James, suffered a cardiac arrest at practice. I think it's at USC, right?
Yeah.
And he went into cardiac arrest. He went to the hospital. He's okay now. All signs are good. He had been released. But yeah, it was scary to hear, man. I think it was also crazy that we didn't hear about it until he had been released, basically. You know, so they kept it on the low, but he's okay. But yeah, crazy situation, man. A lot of course, the conspiracies went wild as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it
The
goes.
shot.
Vaccinated. That's all people say. Vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody fall off a tower and commit suicide. Vaccinated. Somebody gets shot in a gang fight or whatever. Vaccinated. I don't know, man.
Yeah. But that had to be that's a scary situation, man, because you don't never think about somebody having a heart attack.
Yep.
At that young of an age. You usually think about that when you're older or overweight or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he seemed like he's very healthy. So for something like that to happen is very scary. And I'm kind of curious how you gonna move forward. I'm guessing he's still gonna play, but I don't that gotta be a wake-up call, man. I wonder if first of all, I was kind of wondering if he actually wanted to play basketball for real.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just kind of doing it. But yeah, man, it'd be interested to see how he gonna live life moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible unless it's some kind of condition that they just didn't detect. I'm sure they're doing all tests and all this stuff, but unless it's some kind of genetic condition, look, they got DeMar Hamlin back out there, man. He literally died on the field,
Yeah,
and he's back out there now. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's possible he plays and it was just some crazy event, but it wasn't anything like that'll really affect him going forward. But there's also been cases, I believe, Shaquille O'Neal's son he was in basketball, but he had the same thing happen. He had to stop playing. So I don't know, man. It depends on what the tests show, but it is scary that somebody that young suffered that. Tab said that's the first thing I thought about the jab. Look, man, I can't lie. That goes through my mind as well. Okay, I won't lie. People will call you crazy, but look, I feel like when ideas get planted in your head, they call this confirmation bias, by the way. You know, by when somebody says something, you start looking for the pattern that you didn't look for before. You know, I'm sure somebody pulled the number of cardiac arrests and lately, I'm sure it didn't spike up dramatically after the COVID vaccination. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking like, wow, you start thinking like, wow, did that many kids and young athletes have heart attacks and cardiac arrests before?
yeah,
You start to ask yourself these questions, man, and it could be wrong. It probably is wrong, but just once that idea is implanted in your head, it's hard to shake.
yeah. No, I think about that all the time when I work out. Like I work out every day now,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes like I hit the treadmill. Sometimes I try to do a full blown sprint to see how long I could go. And spoiler alert, I can't go that long. The most I could run full speed is probably like a minute 30. And this is not like a full speed, like I'm doing a 40-yard dash. This is like actually running.
Mm-hmm.
And I could go the most I went was like a minute 45, and I'll be so tired where I be feeling like I'm about to pass out, and I never remember being out of shape like that. So I more think about me actually having COVID because my breathing been on since I had COVID, and this was before the shot. So I think about that more than the actual shot. But definitely in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, when if I sit here have a heart attack working out? That would be crazy. And I don't be working out hard. It'd be one thing if
Mhm.
I was sitting here training hard or something, but I work out like anybody else work out. And that definitely be in the back of my mind.
Yeah, it's scary, man. You got to shake that because it's that can give you a panic attack. You know,
Yeah.
like you're thinking about your heart rate. I've had that before. Like I've had times where I'm just like, I don't know. I get cold sweats in the gym. I've had times where I thought I was gonna die, dog. Like legit.
Damn.
And I think it's because I was taking too much pre-workout at the time. This is years back when I was in college. But there would be times where I would just take too much caffeine during the day, and I would like have a panic attack at the gym. I would think I was dying, man. So I'd
Damn.
have to go home and just like close my eyes and just lay in bed and try to breathe because
Damn.
I've had some times where I thought I was having a heart attack and I was about to die, man.
Damn.
Scary stuff.
I be nervous doing some pre-workout at times, man. Like I take it up. Shit. I got some right here.
Yeah, the C4. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of watch what I take. I try not to take too much. I got a bottle of pre-workout today. And on the bottom is on the bottle it say 2 servings per bottle. So I took half of it. But some people be taking the whole bottle, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
nah, I'm good on that.
You build after time, you build up a tolerance to it. I'll say that
Yeah.
much, but it can
Yeah.
still catch you by surprise.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing too. Like I use a certain kind, and then after it's done, I switch over to a different brand. So
Mhm.
that because towards the end I started getting used to it. But like a new brand I was taking, I felt it way more when I'm like, oh shit. So I was kind of hyped. But yeah, man, I think about that stuff all the time. Like, damn, when if I don't ever want to die working out in the gym, man.
Mhm.
I don't want to go out like that. I'm sure you seen the workout guy that pretty much broke his neck trying to
Yeah, yeah.
squat or something
Squat.
like that.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was man, that's a tough way to go out, man.
And just this week, I saw a lady who apparently had who was on a treadmill and like fell and hit her head and died.
Damn.
So yeah, it's scary, man. You just gotta work out and be careful. I've been trying to cut back on a pre-workout. I've been taking more like caffeine pills and stuff, and just trying to not take too much of the pre-workout itself. But yeah, it's scary, man, when you see this happen, and it's like, damn, this guy was way younger and healthier than me, and he had cardiac arrest. I'm 36, got to watch my heart rate on my thing, and it's
Yeah.
scary, man. So yeah, everybody do what you can to stay healthy and don't push yourself too hard to where anything could happen. I don't know, but be careful out there, I guess is the message for the day. Anything else happened? I did see this writer strike is still going on, and some movies were pushed back because of it. I saw Avatar 3, 4, and 5 were pushed back.
I can't believe they got 3, 4, and 5.
Dog, look at these release dates, man. Avatar 3, December 2025. Avatar 4, 2029. Avatar 5, 2031. Can you imagine having a release date for 2031? We're in 2023 right now, man.
Yeah.
Almost 10
Damn.
years in the future, we're talking about a movie coming out. So that's wild to me, man. Other movies, I guess Avengers was pushed back to 2027. 2 Avengers movies, Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty, were pushed back. The
It's
Batman Part
it's probably
2.
done with Avengers.
Now they're making 2 more. One was coming out 2026, another one 2027. You know, Disney does this thing where they like map out the entire Marvel for like the next 10 years.
They have a release day where you know
Yeah.
what's all coming.
It's like y'all don't even film these movies yet, and you got a release date for it. That's crazy to me. But
Yeah.
it's like this is Phase 6, guys. Okay, it's gonna end with the Fantastic Four, and then we're going into Phase 7, and it's gonna have X-Men in 2038. It's like, what the fuck? I'm not even thinking. Like, I can't even imagine like what's
I don't even know if I'm gonna be alive during
right. Like, how am I supposed to be excited for a movie going that far in the future? It's crazy to me, man. Blade keeps getting pushed back, man. I'm starting to believe this movie just ain't gonna get made.
Yeah, I think I kind of gave up a little bit, man.
This movie is having problems. I know the previous director writer left, and so they've been having all kinds of problems. And who knows if the cast will be able to get back together? Any movie having this level of problems, I'm just not confident about, man.
I feel like it's gonna end up being like a Hulu release or Netflix.
Yeah.
Release. If it's just straight to Netflix, I feel like that's not a good sign.
It might be, man. More Marvel movies. Fantastic Four pushed back to May 2025. Gran Turismo, I think, was supposed to be released already. It got pushed back to late August of this month. Craven.
Yeah, they had the didn't they had the preview for that? They actually had the trailer for that.
Yeah, it's already done. Like,
that's crazy.
But they can't promote it because the actors are now on strike as well, or not promoting stuff. So yeah, they can't promote it. But yeah,
damn.
So I don't know, man. There's another Spider-Man movie, Beyond the Spider-Verse, one of the animated movies that got delayed indefinitely. A bunch of stuff is getting pushed back or just started filming and stopped production. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Personally, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I have too much to catch up on to worry about movies coming out. Like, there's so much stuff I still gotta watch that I feel like I'm good for this strike could last another year, and I probably wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, I'm still trying to finish Succession. I'm in the last season, so I'm trying to finish that up, and then I've been watching other stuff. But
yeah,
I
feel like it could go on another year and a half before I notice. Like, there's nothing new coming out. So, because there's so much stuff I still gotta watch, man. I'm so far behind on newer series and movies and stuff. So, yeah, I got a while, man.
Yeah. Did you see that they plan on making a movie, a Monopoly movie?
Dog, yeah, they went crazy. Of course, this is what Hollywood does. When one movie does really well, they kill it. So now, since Barbie did really well, they're making a movie on every Mattel thing now. I think we talked about this last podcast. But yeah, the Monopoly movie, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what? Low key, that might be a good movie, dog.
And see, I ain't want to say too much. I guess I need to know more details about this movie.
Yeah.
Because if it's something where it's like, hey, I'm trying to buy all this property and I get bankrupt. If it's like a Wolf of Wall Street type deal, which I know it's not, I think they're gonna make it more, I guess, kid friendly. But if it was like a Wolf of Wall Street type of vibe where you trying to buy all this property and you go bankrupt and you got to pay this. If it's something like that, I think that'd be kind of dope. But I don't know if it's gonna be like that, man.
Look, I need to know who's gonna play the mascot. I need to know who's gonna play the Monopoly Man, the Mr. Pennybags, I think his name is. I need to know who's gonna play the Monopoly Man. I want to see him. He got to have the top hat. He got to have the cane, and I want to see him go through it. I want to see him go to jail, and somebody yank him with a cane and take him to jail. I want to see the Monopoly Man. Okay, don't cheers out the Monopoly Man. I want to see who plays him, and I want to see it. But look, I feel like that's a movie they can make good. It's just got to be somebody who's just crazy creative to make a good Monopoly movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see. Troy says, low key, the Clue movie wasn't bad. Yeah, that was like a comedy. I can't remember the Clue movie, but I remember it had a lot of people in it, and it was actually like a good comedy type thing. So yeah, they could make the Monopoly movie good, man.
They gonna go overboard though with all
Yeah,
stuff. Like even not talking about the Monopoly movie. I bet you they're gonna make a Candyland movie.
yeah.
A Pop It movie or some
They
type
already
of
did Battleship with Rihanna, and that was ass.
I
So
forgot about that.
yeah, it
I
was
used to play
bad.
Battleship too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna kill it, but they always kill it. They have one good idea, and then they do 80 bad ideas, and then it dies. So we'll see. And Matt Wine Kenneth says Marvel's been bad lately. They like turned Blade into a Disney Plus series. Yeah, maybe. Speaking of which, Sam Jackson had his own Disney Plus show and nobody watched it. I feel like
I sure didn't. That's one of the stuff I kind of want to catch up on. I feel like because I didn't even finish the Loki series.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
I Loki was okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really get it. I watched a couple episodes, I think, but I really wasn't into it like that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of jumped off. I got to see what to watch as far as like the Marvel movies or the series to catch me up a little bit because yeah, I can't remember what else came out after that.
Yeah, me neither, man. It's too much to catch up on. I feel I got some things. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Secret Wars thing, and I heard it wasn't all that great. But yeah, Marvel gotta do something, man. They need another hit. They need another hit pretty bad, man. I think everything has just been okay. I know people liked Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, but that was James Gunn. That was kind of different from the whole Marvel thing. And he ain't there no more. He went to DC. He's doing a new Superman movie. So yeah, I don't know. Marvel needs somebody who's not going to just make the typical Marvel movie. Yeah, they need something to shake it up, man.
Yeah, that Thor movie didn't do too good.
Yeah,
got a lot of bad reviews on that movie.
Yeah, the Ant-Man movie. There's been some movies that people said was kind of mid coming out lately. So I don't know. They got to get. I know Deadpool's coming out with Wolverine and all that. So we'll see how that goes. Matt Watkins also says watching people play Monopoly would be entertaining. Yeah, I mean it's got to be like Jumanji, where they get sucked into the game and suddenly they're like rich entrepreneurs and they start battling each other for property.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Sidebar, I want to say the past 4 weeks I've been playing that Monopoly Go game.
No, what, on the phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Okay.
Like I actually got into it. It was really addictive. But man, when I tell you, I think it was this week, I fucking deleted that game. I deactivated my account. Dog, I was over here racking up money. I had like $130 million.
Damn.
Like I was just cleaning up. When I tell you I woke up one morning and somebody robbed me for $123 million. Because on the game, like it's not like typical Monopoly. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it's like a regular some type of phone game. I don't want to call it like a Candy Crush, but you get like you're the only one rolling the dice. So you earn more rolls and you just keep rolling, you keep making money, and you're not actually buying property. You just making money so you can buy up like certain properties so you can move to the next level pretty much. So it's not like traditional Monopoly. So I had all this money and you could play different games where you can pretty much take money from your Facebook friends or whoever that's on, some random people that's playing it. And somebody got me for $123 million, man.
Damn.
I was damn near, I was broke. I was fucking, I'm like, how the fuck do you like every morning somebody always gets you for like 15,000 or the most is probably like $1 million, $2 million. But I had like 130. So that ain't shit to me. But man, dude got me. I don't even know who it was, man. He got me for 123 mil, man.
That's crazy.
I'm
man.
like, I'm done with this. I felt like Franklin at the end of Snowfall.
Just gonna be out in the street with a 40, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm free. I ain't got no more chains. I'm free. I'm free, Lee.
Oh shit, man.
That was awful, man. So I deleted that game. I'm done with that game, man.
Yeah, that's weak, man. That's weak. I don't know why they let people do that shit. That's wild. But yeah, man.
Monopoly movie could be coming soon.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see how they I'm just interested in how they would even do it, but we'll see. I've heard good things about the Gran Turismo movie, and I didn't understand how people are going to make a good Gran Turismo movie about a game that has no story.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
I think what they did with that movie was I guess it was a guy that played the game
Mm-hmm.
and he was so good that I guess they called him in to actually race like a real car type thing. So it's like a gamer pretty much stepping in.
No, okay.
It would be like a Madden player that's so good in Madden they try to put him in as a coach or something,
Mhm.
which I think will actually happen sometime in the
Oh
future.
yeah.
But I think they kind of made it like that because I ain't understand how they was gonna make that a movie. I ain't really get that.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm kind of, if it's good, I'll bootleg it. I'll wait for it to hit streaming and I'll watch it. But
I'm
yeah, I
waiting
don't
for
know,
the street.
man.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for the Streets of Rage.
Oh, that would be fire, man. We need more game. I think there can be more game movies in the future since
Yeah.
Mario did so well.
Man, that
Uh,
Streets of Rage soundtrack is hard,
yeah,
man.
it is,
I got
man.
that shit. I got that shit in my playlist, man.
I want the vinyl. I know they have the vinyl out, man. That's like a game soundtrack I would get on vinyl. That shit's hard, man.
Yeah.
The dude that composed that is like a legendary composer too. He's done a lot of games and like Sega games and other games as well. That guy's a legend, man. But that shit is hard. It was fucking
Yeah.
dog. Soundtracks, period, just don't exist like they used to, man.
They
They
don't.
really don't, man. Like games, you play a game and it's like you don't remember any music from it.
What
They
was the
gotta.
last game you played where you be like, damn, this because most games, especially like NBA games or sports games, they have real music on there.
Mhm.
So that kind of take it out of it. But when was the last game you played where the music on there was kind of a little bit fire, where it was memorable?
It's been a long, like even the new Street Fighter, man. Street Fighter used to have like the most fire music for
Yeah.
back in the day. And now I play Street Fighter 6. I be playing that shit on mute damn near, dog. The music is awful. The music is bad. It's like some fake corny rap type shit. And it's like, it sounds like royalty-free music people play on the stream to not get copyright DMCA'd. But it sounds super generic and terrible, man.
Man.
Like nothing memorable. And like games and movies, they just don't got soundtracks like they used to, man.
Yeah.
It's
I used to
don't
love
know
the
what it
Street
is.
Fighter music too.
Yes.
That bum,
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Yeah. You could sample that shit and rap off of it, man. It was iconic.
Yeah.
But these days,
that was the joint that gets stuck in your head too.
yep. And I feel like, and this is the problem with everything, the easier it gets to make something, the lazier people become. Because you think about it, back in the day, you only had so many noises to make video game music, and the video game music had to be like memorable.
Yes.
So that's why you get the Street Fighter 2 music sounding so good. But now it's like anybody can make music now and put it in the game because it's just a little MP3 file you put on a CD. So now anybody can do it. So now you got people just getting hired on the cheap.
Yeah.
Putting whatever generic music they can do, and that's it. So it's rough, man. Sometimes, like, I'm grateful for technology and how far it's come, but I feel like we were more creative when we were more limited.
Yeah.
And just it's too easy to do stuff now. It's too easy to make a movie. It's too easy to make music, and now we're just lazy because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I feel like music just overall just took a hit, man.
Yeah.
Like we talked about hip hop. We don't really do a hip hop segment, talk about music anymore. The video games kind of taking a hit. And there's another thing too. Who do you remember have a who have a fire WWE intro where you just like, oh yeah, like it seemed like the intros don't really get
Yeah.
on fire no more, man.
I like 3. I like Roman Reigns. He has a good intro. I kind of like the Usos. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. It kind of grew on me, man. And I like Asuka in WWE, but that's it. Everybody else, there's no Stone Cold Glass Shatter, da 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 da
Yeah,
da. And you know what time it is. There's nobody like
yeah.
that now.
Even the smaller ones like the hardcore Holly Crash Holly
Yep.
or the Dudley Boys.
Big Show. Well,
Yeah,
it's the Big Show.
you just got all this random music that probably wasn't even the best wrestlers, but the music was kind of fire. Like Big
Mhm.
Boss Man. Like remember Big Boss Man intro?
Yep.
Like
Yeah, everybody had the hardest music for no reason, man.
yeah. Now it's like you'll hear an intro and it's just straight up metal.
Or
Wherever
some
you go.
fake ass rapper. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad, man.
Yeah, like to me, this is probably controversial, but what's the girl? I think it was Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Money, 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 money. It's just like, man,
Yeah, it was
it sounds
ass.
so corny, man.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds so cheesy. Like I expect her to come out with a hat with a money sign on it. The hats that be in the gas station. It just everything just sounds so cheap, man.
It is, man. And the WWE, the thing, they fired the guy who made all those classic. I forget his
I think
name. It was
John Johnson.
something like that. Yeah, they
It's like
fired him like a long time
Josh
ago.
Johnson. Yeah.
They fired him, and then they brought these other people in, and then they fired those guys too, and now it's just somebody else. But yeah, the music don't hit nowhere near the same, man. I feel like
Jim Johnston.
yeah, Jim Johnson, yeah. He
Yeah.
did The Rock, he did Undertaker, he did Stone
Yeah,
Cold, all
man.
the classics.
Yeah, he did all of that shit, man.
Yeah. But now it's just generic ass shit, man. It don't get the crowd hype when somebody come out. It's just I don't know, man. It's
Yeah, it'd be somebody. It'd be like some. I don't want to say soft rock, but it'd be like some type of rock metal with somebody singing on. You know, somebody just kind of like singing their heart out on it.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this? And then, of course, you got some people that's hyped because they know who it is. I'm just like, this shit ain't getting me hype at all.
Yeah. I liked Shinsuke Nakamura, the one that got sampled in the Lil Uzi Vert, his latest album. Like he changed that song and now it sounds worse, but that original theme, that was actually really good. That was one that sounded like epic, like it used to sound.
Who is this guy? What's his name?
Shinsuke Nakamura. It's SHINSUKE NAKAMURA. That song, and then he had one intro where like this black violinist came out and he did the intro too live, and it was fire, man. It was a good song, but yeah, they don't hit the same no more, man. They don't.
Yeah,
I don't even like them when they change like the current people, like The Rock. When his last songs that came out, it didn't hit like it used to.
Yeah,
it used to be. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? It used to be that hard dun 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 dun. You knew the whole place would just light up. Everybody get on their feet. The loudest pop you ever heard in the audience, and you knew what time it was.
Yeah, I hated that that era in WWF where they tried to do the rap. Remember the rap?
Yeah,
intro?
yeah.
That
I
was
ain't gonna lie. I like that album though, man. I think it was called WWF Aggression.
Yeah,
I kind of like that, man.
The only one I did like was the I liked the Chris Jericho one. I forgot who rapped over that.
But who was it? Let me see. Let me look up this album now, man. Because it's not on Spotify, which I hate.
Yeah, I did not like that album at all.
I'm not going front, man. I liked it. I liked it.
The worst part about it to me when they actually came out to them songs.
Yeah,
like, man, I don't want to hear.
I liked. You didn't like the DX one by Run DMC? I like that one, man. That was kind of
That was better than
cold.
the original one, man.
Yeah, I like that one though, man. The Kings of Rock, who? That shit was hard. Oh yeah, that Break Down the Walls was by R.A. the Rugged Man, which
Really?
is crazy. That dude was super underground. That's crazy. He was even on the album. I like the Ice-T Pimpin' Ain't Easy. That was kind of cool. The Godfather theme. I liked the Mankind theme with Kool Keith and ODB. I kind of like the Snoop Dogg and Dub C Stone. I like this album, man.
I wasn't feeling it. Maybe I wasn't feeling it because during the actual event they came out to these songs.
Yeah, that was
But I felt like none of these was better than the original theme songs. And
it didn't sound right when Stone Cold came out to rap, man. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't as hard, but some of it was good, man. Like I said, I like the Degeneration X by Run DMC. I like this album, man. Gang Roll by C Murder and Magic. Yeah, it's wild. But dog, listen to it again, man. You might like it a little bit more.
Check it out again.
I mean, it's probably better rap than most of what's out right now.
Yeah,
so.
I did like the Chris Jericho one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, but outside of that, I was just like,
yeah.
But I used to hate when they changed up the intros, man. That used to hurt my nerves.
yeah, they would have like a super hard rock version of it. I didn't like when they changed Stone Cold's. Like Stone Cold is something you just don't change, man. They changed his too much, and it's like that's something you just don't need to touch. Like the glass breaking, da 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 da. You don't change that, man. That's something you just don't touch. I didn't like whenever they tried to remix that shit. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Music period, man. It's just something else.
It got an effect all over the place, man.
Yep. Oh yeah, Ernesto, we see you in the chat as well. He caught the YouTube pretty much at the end of our stream, but at least you caught us reminiscing on our old man shit.
Yeah, check out the replay.
Yeah, hit that replay button on the Odyssey app. I mean YouTube. The rewind button on YouTube, which is just putting the cursor back on the beginning. But appreciate everybody who joined us, man. I think that might about do it for the podcast today. I don't think there's anything else that we missed that I can think of. I'm scrolling the timelines to make sure nothing crazy happened today. I don't really see anything. I'm sure we're missing something because every time we end the stream, I'm like, oh, this happened and we didn't even talk about it. But I don't see anything. So
how you feel about Cardi B throwing the mic?
People were suspecting that was like some fake shit because she was asking people to throw water on her, apparently. Like there were some clips that came out where she was saying, like, put that shit on me. And people were putting it, I guess she was twerking and people were putting water on her. But I guess somebody went too far. I guess she was done with that part and they were still throwing water. So she threw the microphone. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just, look, when you have a certain personality, people are going to let you get away with shit. And that's just going to be, Cardi being Cardi. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Ernesto says, I normally listen to the podcast like 2 to 3 times through the week, LOL, while I'm working. Well, we appreciate that, man. That's dope.
Yeah, we do.
Like the same show from the previous week. See, that makes me feel bad about having a rerun show. Because there's certain times we just somebody's sick or we can't make it for whatever reason, and just we going through something. But now that I know that you listen to the show 2 to 3 times a week, that makes me feel bad that you listen to the same show sometimes 6 to 7.
I know. I feel like we need to put out some more content now, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
Maybe not no 3-hour podcast, but maybe some type of reaction video or something.
Yeah, that's something I want to do. Just we got to find some time, man. That's the thing. I really want to invest, but it's just it's also starting from scratch is just tough. Period, man. And I feel like if we were down bad and didn't have jobs, we could dedicate ourselves fully to this. But now it's like, do you take time out of your paying job to do something that's not going to pay right now?
Yeah.
And it's a rough choice to make, man. So we're trying to, I'm trying to motivate myself to get more into the podcast and edit some clips and do some stuff to promote us. But we do appreciate y'all who stuck through us with us from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
So Ernesto said, I told you, Figgy, I want to go record some bro and content for y'all when y'all getting into the studio. It's
Oh
me,
yeah, yeah.
VE.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he me and VE was talking not that long ago, and he actually want to record some stuff up here. When I told him you barely come to the station now, so we
Yeah,
always
yeah.
record like this. But I told him next time we have a big guest and we in the building, then I have him slide through.
No, for sure, man. For sure. We appreciate y'all for supporting us and listening and tuning in on live and commenting with us and just mixing it up with us, man. I will say, like, this has really opened up the podcast, I feel. Getting to talk to y'all, getting to understand what y'all think about things and getting y'all reactions. I feel like this has made the podcast a lot better.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all for engaging. I know a 3-hour podcast almost is a long time to stay, but we appreciate y'all coming through, dropping your takes and your thoughts. Everybody who joined today, we had Drunk, Mark Nash, Matt Wine Chemist, Jenny P, DeBaron McNeil, DBZ McNeil, Troy from Facebook, Miguel as well, HRW. Everybody who came through today, man. A Tab as well, saw a Tab, and everybody who came through, dog. Ernesto as well at the end. We appreciate all y'all. Tab said, "Can I interview y'all?" I mean, why? We give y'all an interview every week, man. I don't know what else, what I can say in an interview.
I don't know if you got the show with him or y'all working on something, but he actually working with Freddie D on some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's dope. I
I
haven't talked to Freddie D in a while, man.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while either. But yeah, I think they got like a Chiefs podcast or something like that. Some type
Okay.
of show. So salute, man. That's dope.
That's dope. The last time I randomly saw Fred Davis at the gym I go to. This was like right after the pandemic. I want to say 2020 still. And he was randomly at the gym I went to, man. So we chopped it up for a little bit. But
Damn.
yeah, it's good to see he's back in sports and talking that talk again, man, because he's a good dude. Hope we can work with him again in the future at some point. But yeah, it's good to hear, man. That's dope. Tab said we started this week. That's dope. I'm gonna tune in, man. I'm gonna definitely tune in to see what he got to say. So yeah, I think that about does it this week for the podcast, man. So like we said, we love y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned to In the Loop 6 to 10, or what is y'all, 10 to 2? That's right. Monday through Friday. Texans football coming up. All the stuff and more juicy content from Gyms and Juice on the way. Thank y'all. Until next